Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new, fresh RGL season, specifically number 6. First match of the season. We have a bit of a different one for you. I'm Sandblast, obviously, who's also playing this season but doesn't have a match tonight. Also joined by Jarrett with, again, Dolphin on production. How you doing, Jarrett?
Doing pretty good. Getting ready for this season. Got a lot of new blood, and we're going to see some of that tonight. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams play out against each other and who is able to come up on top to land themselves a decent spot at being a playoff bubble team, and who is going to have to, work a little bit harder if they want their dreams to come to fruition. We have Cat Posse, who were the advanced winners of the previous season, versus the Jug Dealers, who are a team of experienced and some new players coming together to create a new team and see where they land at the end of this season. We have the rosters on the screen right now, as you can see, so you can get familiarized with the players that are going to be playing tonight. Sandblast, why don't you go over whichever roster you prefer, a roster of your choice.
So I'll go over the Jug Dealers since you already introduced the Cat Posse as the advanced winners. The Jug Dealers are pretty much couple old heads in the invite scene. I mean, you got Paul Dog, you got Hayes, and Phantom. He's been around, but a lot of new blood. You have Zam and Gungan on your scout classes. You have Hayes and Paul Dog on Soldier. You have longtime old head Mustard Overlord finally looking to play his first ever season of invite, and Phantom rounding out the team on Medic. Completely new team. None of these players have pretty much played with each other like ever. So, yeah, run us through Cat Posse real quick.
Cat Posse were the advanced winners of the previous season, like I said before, and their roster, as far as I can tell, has been pretty much unchanged. It is Shining Star on Scout, as well as Yum Yum. You have KTB and Toss on Soldier. You have Kurama on Demoman and Ray on Medic. Going to be interesting to see how well they play off in a new division. It's going to be quite the change from, winning all your matches in advance going up to where the competition is a little bit stiffer, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to collect as many wins as you previously saw from them. So it's going to be really interesting to see how a team that, pretty talented players have definitely shown their own in the lower division come up to invite and play against a bunch of players that have definitely established themselves as experienced players, have a lot of wins in this division under their belt, and going head to head to see who comes on top on Gully Wash. Got your predictions last second coming in, as you gotta be definitely quick because we are going live into the first match of the season. Don't have to wait too much longer to see who is going to end up on top as we go into the very first mid Sandblast.
Yeah, man, so here we go, the first mid of the season that is being broadcast on an RGL. Here we go. Pretty interesting start to the mid. We have two soldiers on the floor, pretty classic, but very early aggression from Yum Yum, who's going to immediately get punished. Toss is well going to trade damage with Hayes on the floor. Pretty passive from both teams so far, but player advantage is going to even out with Zam falling down as well. KTB and Hayes both in pretty bad spots, both super low. Shining Star trying to find a kill onto Hayes. Paul Dog and Hayes both super low. This should be a pretty good win for the Cat Posse since there's no soldiers. KTB bombing a little early, going to end up getting killed. Paul Dog still useless as he's on the floor, but again, the bomb from Toss gonna allow Shining Star to get 2 kills of her own. Paul Dog, 11 HP, literally cannot rocket jump. He is so low, just sitting on mid. He has to find a way out of here. He's just waddling behind.
And Zam's hiding, but they didn't even go with the door that Zam was hiding, so both these players are behind. They can find a way to get out to last if they so desire. It seems like Big Door is relatively free as they're going through up right now, the blue team, to get ready to use their Uber actually pretty quickly, I would imagine. They're 100%. 2 is captured, and they're pretty deep. It looks like they're sending a scout into water, jumping a soldier through right off the bat, and the Uber will eventually come out, trying to bomb into the enemy team and get the Pyro off the point, trying to get a little bit of cap time, and actually gone a long way as the Pyro is just a sole survivor. Although they are getting a lot of kills, but it doesn't matter. The cap time that was collected from the scout going water early on made things too chaotic for the red team to hold on to their last. So it seems like the aggressive mid from blue team worked out pretty well. They, sacrificed some players, but definitely got a lot of damage to help them clean up on the mid. And I'm curious to see if Mustard Overlord and friends are going to change anything to make the mid go in their favor this time.
Yeah, I mean, I was shocked how Mustard's team still did lose that mid with Yum Yum pretty much dying instantly, but KTV gonna take a lot of damage super early. Gungan gonna try and press on that. Both soldiers are super low. Gungan not gonna finish getting this kill. He might regret that a little later, but it's okay because Mustard and Hayes gonna find kills of their own. Zam gonna find KTV. Both the soldiers. There's been a lot of issues with soldiers on this mid so far, where they're all just taking a ton of damage and not having any impact, except for Toss so far. But a lot of soldiers are kind of just taking on too much damage. I think both teams would get a bigger benefit, but Yum is behind. I don't know what he's going to really be able to accomplish here, especially on W1A, so keep your eye on for him. Going to take a 1v1 versus the Doge on mid here.
Yep, gonna send a couple people back, it looks like. Sam and Gunnan have gone back, so 2 or 3 back just for the 1 scout. It's gonna leave a little bit of an opening depending for the blue team to start poking around in lobby. Do we see Toss followed by the rest of his team kind of, you know, poking around in river, seeing who's around, but lower lobby, have to be careful. It seems like they've come back and starting to take some space in lobby themselves. A little bit of a spam war, Gun taking some damage and getting out through Baby Door, so it doesn't appear it's gonna be too much, except the last pipe shot by Mustard onto Toss will collect that kill, and that is a pick they very well could use to start poking into last and trying to break what the blue team has set up. They do only have the heavy right now. There's not a whole lot of really strong defense, just one immobile class as well as a single scout behind, so if there was ever an opening for them to try to do something, it would be now. Do have Hayes creating a little bit of space, gonna allow Zam to be able to get in and get some damage, but it will not be enough. The heavy is a little bit too strong, not able to get any damage onto Ray, and that will not be a force. So 2 down, and Yum still behind. Things are a little bit dire for the red team to be able to collect Toss, but Yum has started to come in from the flank and take 1v1 for his gun, starting to lose it, and even though they've dropped a couple of players, they've collected blue team as players as well. The Uber Force will eventually come off though, and that is what blue definitely wanted, not an exchange for them, as Ray still has their Uber. Have to be careful though, they've left Baby Door unlocked. The blue team has gone so far forward that Zam is now going to last and is just toss a 1v1 to see if they're able to get this back cap or if the blue team will be successful, and they will. Nice air shot from Toss. The last is successful. So overall, this blue Uber is going to be able to collect a lot of kills. Not Phantom though, but able to get at least 2, maybe even 3 depending. No, the Demo Man will get out, but 3 down for the red team. They don't have a Demo Man, so it's hard to lock them out, but Toss going for a solo play. Market Garden gonna get a little bit of damage, but is going to get killed by Phantom. So no kill there, but it is enough damage for the red team to try to back up a little bit and gather themselves as the blue team tries to work their way into mid.
Yeah, I mean, not much is going to be able to happen here. I mean, this is a pretty bold bomb from Hayes. He is going to find a kill, but Zam is well going to find. I am shocked that Cat Posse allowed that to even happen. I mean, they just gave up all the ground for free, did not abuse the fact they have high ground, and Hayes just kind of bombed onto the demo for free and got a free kill. I mean, this should be a round here for the jug dealers. It looks like they're gonna waltz it on through main. Big mustard bomb, not strafing at all, gonna land right onto the heavy.
Oh, he gets the medic.
He does get the med. Yum on the point, gonna try and pretty much trade out a kill here, but again, frags are going in favor of the blue team right now, like at this certain moment, but I think at the end of the day, Gun Gone with his medic, with the beam up his butt, gonna close out that round. Gonna tie it up 1-1. So, pretty close match. I mean, I would think this match would be a little closer. I mean, I thought, honestly, Cat Posse was going to have a little bit more heat coming out of the start of this game, being the team for a whole advanced season and winning. But, I mean, these are 2 of the lower table teams playing, but should be a good rest of this match to see how these teams are going to adapt.
Got the mid starting out, a lot of damage coming from the blue team onto the red. Gotta make sure you're pressuring properly, but as I say that, they are putting a lot of damage onto Kurama. Paul barely saving himself, almost died from crater damage to save himself. That's allowing a lot of space, although the collection of kills onto the blue team is being pretty fruitful for the red team. 2 behind and 2 in front. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to deal with. Mustard will collect those 2 kills. The combo is taken out, so it's just the 2 remaining players from the blue team behind. They had a very decent start getting damage onto the red team, but it seemed to crumble a little bit as they got stuffed on their own side of the point and were not able to cross it. It seems like they're trying to create a little bit of space and try to collect a kill onto Hayes, but Hayes will say, no, I'm at least taking one of you down with me, if not both of you. The fight continues to go on, not getting any backup, just leaving Hayes to dry. Yum will surely collect this 3 health soldier as he will, and try to work his way back. And we're seeing a little bit of deja vu. Yum continuing to be behind, but Phantom has Uber in river, getting ready to pop through. Demo jumping in onto the medic, not necessarily getting the gun, but will eventually go down, trying to take some positioning on the middle of the point here to get some cap time. The demo is in water though, so it's not able to be too much. The heavy is out on the field though, so that's a lot of kills collected for the side of the blue team. The red team scurries away. Phantom is alone in lobby, is going to get collected by Yum, so it's just a disaster for the red team. Only 2 players left alive. They are able to get Ray though in that, so you know, it's not completely disastrous in the sense that for the long term they have something going for them. But Hayes collecting 2 kills at the end there is definitely going to be good for the longevity of this round.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly might open up an opportunity to push you. As you can see, Jug Dealer's not hesitating 1 beat to get in here. They're going to collect Shining Star. They need to get this soldier ASAP. He is going to jump away to save his own life, but that honestly all came down to Paul Dog and Hayes there. Paul Dog got a really nice rocket onto Ray on last there, and then Hayes with 12 HP was able to trade himself out by killing a soldier and +1. So I'm shocked that Jug Dealers weren't peeking off the 2 picks they just had and not peeking to spam the gun, because Shining Star is looking good. But you also have looks like Cura on the other team doing the new popular way to build. It's
The new
two
tech.
scouts, yeah, two scouts off classing with a demo man just building with the katana. But he went he went a little low there. But Jug Dealers here probably just looking at 2-man. I like this hold though from Cat Posse. I like the katana theory to build. I think it's very smart. Nothing really gonna happen here with that sack. They get the gun at least, but Yum Yum and Shining Star take down the double sack here. So nothing eventful pretty much happening so far. You have Cat Posse pushing up to lobby here with KTB.
Oh, Red Team's so passive.
But look at Toss actually. He's not gonna break the timing though. Actually, I don't agree with sending 2 behind here. I think this is a terrible play. So Toss and Yum Yum chose to go behind here. One's gonna die. They're gonna get Zam as well, but now there's only 2. Now there's only 3 at last. And now you have Paul Dog on last threatening the point here, getting a ton of cap time actually. You have Mustard, but here comes the flank from Yum Yum. But now the Uber's out. No one's on point besides the Uber scout right now. Now the reinforcements are coming in, but again, now there's a lot of cap time that Cap Posse have to worry about, so they can't really overcommit here. Shining Star and Yum Yum are committing quite far here because this is Mustard. Mustard's gonna land a pretty significant pipe though. I think that that Jug Dealers might still want to try and fight here with all this cap time. I think it'd be a smart idea. I mean, Gun's still dead. They're not really pressuring flanks. Very unlucky timing. They almost had the opportunity to win that round there. Paul Dog had a very nice direct. But
It seems like they're a little bit mistimed. Paul Dog went a
yeah.
little bit too early compared to the rest of his team, and they didn't work their way into last, so it could have been a really nice play, but ultimately was not executed well enough to secure the round. So playing it safe, not going ahead and try to do a dry fight here, just letting things even out. I'm sure they're ready to go ahead and put their eggs in the sniper basket, at least for now. He's in forwards, not necessarily coming out to try to break this stalemate, but at least sitting in it until they get their Uber. But now they have it. Now he is out of the spawn, getting ready to peek through big door and see if he can collect any kills on any unsuspecting blue players. And right now it seems like Kura might be the target.
yeah, so looks like we're gonna have a little sniper v sniper action. I'll be completely honest with you. I have barely heard of anyone on the blue team, so I have no idea if the Yum Yum sniper is any good. I know the Gun Gong sniper is pretty decent. There was a lot of hubbub of the Yum Yum scout being next up, as the youngins are saying. So we'll see how the sniper's looking. Pretty slow pace match so far though. The first round was pretty explosive from Cat Posse. And here we go, the SVS is going to go in favor. Hayes actually going a little bit too deep there. I don't agree with him dying. But again, Yum Yum is still on sniper, and he is going to ring out another headshot here. And has a pretty aggressive angle. Mustard Overlord is completely overextended, but a huge shot from Yum Yum. I take it all back. Yum Yum's kind of correct.
What a misplay.
Yeah, he overextended, right? I mean, I also don't agree with Mustard's positioning. I feel like if you're gonna, so I don't know. I'll break that down real quick during the downtime. Jug Dealers had a pretty terrible positioning. If you're gonna be in a situation where you want to play on the point, if you're Mustard, you can't play on the point. You either have to play in your choke or up close to deny the choke if you want to Uber exchange, especially when you have spawners on the way.
Yeah,
That's
you know
kinda
the other
what
team has a
ruined it.
sniper, and you just sit back and let him get the shot, and that's a medic
Exactly.
drop. So now Ray, 100% Uber, and situation for the blue team getting this second point, capped up and getting ready to break into the red team last. Got a pyro and gun set up, getting ready to air blast whichever door they come through, doing a little bit of spotting, except the door that they are going to choose, which is the river, getting posted up, getting ready to go through, and it seems like the blind pyro positioning is going to be favorable as long as things play out in this direction, and it seems to be that way. Scout going water, Uber going through river, pyro air blasting a little bit, Demo's gonna get a little bit weak, and the gun is actually, Demo's gonna die.
Oh,
I think
no.
he died to
Disaster.
like his own, I don't even know what
He
it
did.
was. He died to his own stuff, I guess, but
He dead on himself.
oh no, just I guess air blasted sticky back in him, so no Demo for the blue team is gonna prompt the red team start pushing through a little bit, a lot of damage into the players that are number one collected, and Toss almost dead 7 HP, gonna net arrow barely be able to jump away and escape, so a couple kills collected might prompt the red team to push, especially since they have the Uber ready to go, getting ready to peek out on a 2. Mustard has lobby, and they're getting ready to start taking some positioning out the choke. Paul Dog, a nice air shot on KDB, and making sure he doesn't die of fall damage, as well as Phantom milking the Uber all the while against any attempt of the blue team had at forcing that Uber. So now working their way towards Big Door, and it seems like this might be a very fast-paced Uber. They're popping through immediately, but Mustard immediately juggled. You cannot get your Doman into the choke to be able to collect any player, so that is just an Uber used to collect space and a point, but it is going to be a leapfrog scenario where the blue team is about to do the exact same thing.
Yep, here we go. They're sending in Kura, bombing in super deep. Oh, but again, Kura going a little bit overextended. Mustard actually going to find 2 kills of his own. Paul Dog going to find 1. But again, the trades are going back and forth in favor of both teams here. You have Mustard still overextended under the point. But, I mean, I don't really agree with Gun Gong and his med hightailing it out. There was, I mean, everyone was on the floor for the most part. And Gun Gong kind of just gave it all up. Mustard kind of came up huge for his team there, but then everyone kind of just died in the post there. Gun Gong and his medic did not really like try to support anyone in that Uber at all.
It was a big case of expecting the Uber to just go good for the other team and not able to be in a position if your own team pulls out some miracle to able to, you know, collect some kills when you're on disad. But they do have an Uber of their own to try to save face for this second point. You have to be careful though. Ray is not too far away from getting an Uber of her own, so we could see an Uber exchange here depending. They've lost a little bit of positioning and some players as the blue team begins to barrel the way through, trying to climb the ramp and get an Uber exchange off. The blue team's milking a little bit, able to save a couple of their players. Only 3 people left alive, but didn't even see what's going on at last.
I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, all this is happening. Meanwhile, there's people going to last to be able to collect that round, which is much more important than some dumb Uber exchange on too. So that is another round collected for the previous advanced winners, going into what could be the final round of the half if things continue to go in their favor. It's going to be interesting to see the pace that the mid plays out. We've seen it varied. Soldier going underneath immediately to try to spam the red team. It seems like blue team is once again coming on top in that regard, but immediately shoved backwards. Red team is trying to go straight into them. Right side mid to change things up, but it's not really going out too well for them. A lot of damage done as they continue to climb up that ramp, and even though Ray got really, really weak, like 11 HP, that is ultimately a full wipe for the Jug Dealers, only losing Shining Star, and it appears the execution of that right side mid is definitely not what the Jug Dealers needed.
Yeah, I mean, Yum Yum kind of just, you know, gave him the business in that area. They played his positioning perfectly, played off damage great. I mean, there's not really, I mean, there's definitely a scout diff going on right now. I mean, you have Shining Star and Yum Yum who are playing very exceptionally right now, while Zam and Gun Gong just seem like they can't find their footing in a lot of these like during the mid fights, like the middle part of it. They're just not really finding their footing and finding frags or anything, while Yum Yum and Shining Star are kind of just having their way with the map right now. But it looks like we're about to see an Uber coming in from over here. There's gonna be a big bomb coming out from Kura. They're not gonna spot the gun. Gun is gonna go down eventually though. There's no point probably coming out from red team, and that's gonna be a pretty quick, you know, 15 minutes, you know, that's on track. And there goes the first half, 3-1 in favor of the advanced moves. You would say, you know, on paper, the red team looks pretty decent. You know, you got a couple invite players, you know, long stay invite players like Paul Dog, Hayes, Gun Gong played last season, I believe. There's definitely
Phantom has a couple under his belt too.
Like this is a entirely new version of it's pretty much a new blood invite team, but also one advanced together versus a team that has a lot of old stay talent, especially, you know, people like Mustard, who's been around, you know, the old ESCA IM days and has been around, you know, he's played high IM and top IM, but never had the break. You know, he's played in invite scrims, he's tried out for invite teams, played in one invite match in his career until today.
It definitely goes to show how well cohesion can go for you. You know, even if you're not necessarily, you know, have tons of experience under your belt, the fact that everyone's on the same page right off the bat, week one, just because you didn't change up anything about your roster, you had the full 3-4 months, depending on when your team was created, to get things situated and, you know, conquer new challenges together. Definitely, you know, proves to be a very valuable asset, as we're seeing in this match so far. Seems like they know exactly how they want to push, you know, all these last points, and as well as executing like very particular mid strategy. It seems like they're on the same page when it comes to the level of aggression that the blue team is showing at any given time when they're showing up to mid. And then it definitely shows in the rounds. We have the stats. I'll go ahead and you know, kind of look at what we see on the screen right now, and kind of pair it with Sandblast was saying, how when you look at the scouts comparison, I know it's a thing you don't necessarily look at tons and tons on Gully Wash, but kind of look at the damage that is being done by the scouts on either team. You can definitely see a very big difference in terms of performance, and the Cat Posse is definitely pulling out on top in more than just the rounds, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these plays are, getting mid to lasted from the side of the jug dealers. And if you look at it, Hayes, Paul Dog, and Mustard are not playing bad. And neither's Phantom. I mean, besides the one overextension he had into the sniper. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even say it's really his fault because he kind of got forced there, but no one really pressured the sniper. But that's just good positioning and play from Cat Posse. I mean, right now, Zam and Gungon need to find their footing. Both doing sub 200 DPM. Both both pretty much almost going double negative. While Shining Star is top damaging on their team, and Yum Yum's top fragging. They're creating much more of a presence. There's always a scout threat going on. I mean, the scouts are pumping out the most damage on their team, so they need to find a way to just shut down these scouts here. I mean, honestly, it's not really the soldiers coming out too hard from Cat Posse. I mean, Toss and KTB are playing exceptionally, but the damage isn't, all there. But Paul Dog and Hayes are making up for a lot of Jug Dealer's errors, but it's definitely the scouts who got to pick it up.
Yep. And even though you kind of play off your teammates a little bit, sometimes, some of the actions made by some of the projectile players can, help or hinder the scouts. But generally, I think what we definitely need to see for the pace, if we're going to see the jug dealers start to change things, it's definitely going to start at the mids, because you don't really have to, you can cherry pick different situations that happen in the, the past 4 rounds that we've seen. But one thing that stayed the same for the most part is even when the jug dealers were winning some of the mids, it was really rough, and it could even turn into losses. Like, they would do okay for a bit, and then some disaster would strike, and Cat Posse would come out on top. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do indeed change, if we're going to see continuing trend and Cat Posse will continue to collect rounds until their victory, or if the jug dealers will be able to flip things around and come out on top and start collecting rounds to take the lead in this match. Going into the second mid, see some spam as normal, going into big door and try to collect as much as you can. Doesn't seem like it's going to be too much in either regard, so a little bit of a slow-paced match. Got a lot of Cat Posse players playing relatively passive. Tosses in his own big door, just kind of out in no man's land, not even in mid, and it's going to allow Kura to take a lot of damage. Going to get initiated on top. It's 27 HP. Hayes is going to be able to collect that frag almost by himself. Have to be careful about the counter initiation, though. Tosh is finally going in. Automatic misses his rocket, and Phantom's going to live. He had the perfect opportunity, but a little bit of beef. KTB is going to collect that frag at the end of the day. Then it seems like at the end of the day, the counter initiation coming out from the blue team is enough to give them the player advantage to shove the lone survivor, Mustard Overlord, out of the mid. And it's like I was saying, the jug dealer is he's staying and he's dying. Even when it looks like they're winning at the very beginning, somehow disaster strikes, and it does not bode well for the longevity of this match if you're a jug dealers fan.
He taunted Mustard. Yeah,
definitely showing a lot of dominance.
I don't know. Zam had a good play on the med, but as soon as that kill is found, like, they need to death ball on Phantom. I don't really know what Gungon's going for here. I mean, he gets a kill, but Paul Dog's going to trade out for it. And now they have 3 people. I mean, it's working. I don't know how, but they had so many people turn around for this one player. And now you have Kura, you have a Soldier Bomb from KTB. Phantom should be able to live here still, which is good. It worked out in the end. I mean, honestly, Ray should be getting killed here. Gungon, why didn't he keep chasing? Oh, he just let the med out for free. I don't agree with that, but okay.
At least they get mid, though. Initially you would think that they wouldn't be able to hold that because of the such a late demo death, but it seems like the execution from Cat Posse was not what they needed to be. So instead of doing a dry push off a demo death to collect 2, now they're on their own 2. I mean, they have a sniper to be able to collect a scout kill, but it's a scout kill on Gullywash. Toss is gonna try to go and actually get a lot of damage on the Phantom, and is gonna be able to get that force. I didn't even see how that happened. Did he go through drop down? Phantom just ended on the floor and had to pop. Wasn't able to collect that kill in time. So it seems like despite them being on their own 2, they're not in the worst of positions to be in right now.
Yeah, I mean, Yum Yum on this. I mean, it could be better for Yum Yum's team or the Cat Posse. He's on sniper. They got the force. I think that jug dealers should not be afraid to hold a little bit more aggressively right now. I don't think there's a reason not to. I mean, Zam has the most interesting sniper angle I've ever seen. He does deny the demo hoover. He was using the little window underneath the point, but Zam is gonna die here to KTB, I think. He should die shortly. There it is. KTB, good job. And then you also, I don't agree with sacking there. He should, if he was dropped down, he should have just got out. I mean, now Phantom's close to Uber, but they have to concede 2 now for the most part.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of solo plays. Speaking of solo plays, Toss is behind, might do a solo play himself depending on the pace of this. He sees an opening, trying to go onto Phantom, gonna be able to not hit the first rocket.
Mustard.
they are able to get the force though, which is something able to catch out Kerr as well. So at the end of the day, oh, did I just cast a curses? Is Kerr getting out? And a sniper kill as well. The sniper's just above the point and have to collect that, which means you can't stuff the joke. That even though the sniper's dead, the blue team's starting to push their way through a little bit. And it seems like they do not want to commit though. Definitely want to play this safe and collect their Uber. Ace is going in, and it seems like it's just a collapse. They are losing players left and right, able to collect the force, but at what cost? Almost everyone is dead. Zam scurrying away at 10 HP, gonna be the lone survivor to make sure this gun gets built up. But for the jug dealers, this is not a situation you want to be in.
KTV absolutely just gave him the business. He had a flank play and got 2 picks for it. Almost killed Zam, and that might be enough to us, you know, try and get this push here into last. They have slight ad. I don't think it's a pushable ad. Just about 15% in favor of the Cat Posse. I mean, nothing's really changed for the most part. I mean, I don't agree with the solo plays. Like, Hayes went for a very high-risk, high-reward play there on mid, going through drop-down. Like, again, Yum Yum's still on Sniper. They had their Uber popped, and then it was a 5v5, and Hayes just turned it into a 4v5, bombing into pretty much a fully buffed scout, when he could have just lived behind and, like, delayed so his team could have got Uber to contest too. But Kura here gonna look for the gun. Tossing Mr. Yum Yum dueling in water with the Doge.
He's got a lot of presence in water, trying to, you know, make sure that Yum Yum's not able to do anything, but he's able to collect a soldier that gets a little bit too close, and Paul Dog getting really close to the door as well, trying to stuff it the best he can. Now there's only one soldier on the field. Yum Yum trying to work their way in, but unable to get past the Cinder gun that's posted up next to the point. So overall, 1-for-1 trade. Probably not going to see too much, except maybe blue team might go in one more time if they feel like they see an opening, but you know, I wouldn't be too surprised if Yum Yum calls them sniper themselves to try to go for something. We do see a little bit of a point play coming from Toss, but it doesn't seem like it's followed up too much by stuff, but it seems like Yum Yum is not going to go for the sniper play and instead is going to play Spy. Going to be interesting to see how well this works. You have to play pretty fast if you don't want the other team to get super paranoid about the fact that nothing's really happening. So you're gonna have a really small window where he's able to do anything at all, but Hay is just dying to spam in the middle of the 6v5 stalemate. It's really curious. So now things are going to be a little bit easier now. There's more doors open and there's less of a reason for the red team to start turning around. Eco's happening. They don't hear. He gets a little bit of a shank, trying to revolver down, but Phantom just binds up and makes sure that he lives at the end of the day. That was a very, very ample opportunity for a successful play, but at the end of the day, the execution was not there.
Very interesting play there. I thought he was going to go by the shutter and decloak. But Hayes is going to fall again, trying to counter off the spy pick. And it looks like we have the patented double spy from Mr. Yum Yum here. Going to create the threat. He chose to finally take off his loadout, doing it the correct way. So he has no ambassador this time. So we're going in. Yep. So he's going to recommit on the spy. He's on Cloak and Dagger. He should almost out of that cloak. This is the hard part about Cloak and Dagger. Is you have to wait so long. And it just makes it so much harder for like make the spy play more convincing. What would be beast if he sapped the gun and capped the point? That'd be sick. I want to see it happen, Yum Yum.
You're definitely waiting for an opportunity. He's getting on the point. Might be trying to go for something soon, but if they wait too long, it's gonna be, you know, like I said before, gonna be kind of curious to see what's happening. Seems like Toss is creating a little bit of distraction. Yum Yum has gotten to the other spawn in the corner, so they have a little bit of intel on what's happening and could go ahead and go for a sap or stab the NG if they so desire, but seems like Zam trying to counter on Sniper of his own is not going to find anything successful, so 5v5 at least for now.
He used the dispenser to... Oh! Yum Yum got spotted! He tried to do a sick little jump, but he actually ran out of cloak and got exposed. That's actually the unluckiest thing, because that would be an awesome position to play a spy. Right on top of the ring. He used the dispenser to jump on top, but he ran out of cloak. That's actually hilarious.
There was no scouts for the blue team, but it seems like red team just wanted to go ahead and counter-sack thing, you know, threw their NG to the wind, and with his revenge crits was not able to find anything, just got juggled up by the soldier players that were still on the field. So counter-sack not really working out. They still have the level 1 to kind of help them a little bit until, you know, Gungan gets back up, which he will now. Toss trying to work his way in, but immediately the surf that Phantom did just sent him straight up into the air. That is not going to be something that you can survive unless you pop your Ubers. So finally, the opening that Cat Posse has been waiting for was given to them, and they're able to collect that force to be able to have an Uberad to work their way through the door of their choice. Probably going to wait a little bit for Toss to respawn, and Yum Yum is actually going back to spawn, Toss opening the door so you can switch off Sniper and get back on Scout for this upcoming Uberad push.
Yeah, I mean, Toss, flexing his top 50 jumper skills. That's a fact check coming from Mr. Soapy Meister. But here comes the Uber. Gonna get juggled a little bit. Shining Star not gonna have the best amount of HP during this post Uber. I'm trying to find some point time here. They're gonna have time spawning up, but Bolt Scouts blow up immediately. Not looking good for the Cat Posse, although frags are going in favor of the Cat Posse now for somehow. But again, you have Mustard and Hayes gonna find two pretty huge kills of their own. Paul Doge going deep, but Paul Doge getting taken down, overextending. It looks like KTP. Here he comes. He's going in deep. Gonna find Hayes potentially. Oh, he's gonna find the kill, but he's not gonna find the point. KTB. That was a great little effort going in there. That was nice. I'm a fan of that play. Unfortunately, he was a little too slow. The spawners came in. Good stuff from the Doge there.
Yeah, Ray has that as well after what happened, so gonna be an interesting way to see how well they're able to deal with this. It seems like the red team is playing pretty aggressive. Mustard is actually going to die alone in the lobby stairs. The Sniper is still in River, so might collect a little bit more to make this 5v5 a little bit more red team sided if he's able to collect any kills, but they got to do something fast because only 10% more until Ray has their Uber and they're ready to push through a demo-less last point. Mustard, no stickies up because he's still in the grave. Uber comes through trying to chase down one of the soldiers. Heavy instead getting pushed to spawn. Soldier getting very weak out.
95%
Actually
Phantom.
able to collect the scout kill. And both scouts kill. One was Uber and one was captain, with the Uber coming from the red team is enough. Nice shot from him. He's on Nakura, but Toss is in the spot. Toss is in the spot. It's going to be a Toss v Paul Dog 1v1 on last.
Paul Dog is the ultimate last rat, and there it is. And he survives. Told you, 8 HP, man. Like, Paul Dog is always there, man. I'm telling you. He's the new gen Marmaloo. Marmaloo always used to sit at last and hold last no matter what. Paul Doge is the same way.
A healthy distrust for your teammates.
Hey, man. Sometimes it's good to have that feeling,
Yeah, it's healthy. It's healthy. We're only human. But gonna be even. Red team owns mid now after working their way back out of last, so probably gonna enter another stalemate scenario. We do have a sniper that's on the field for the blue team, although Yum Yum is just in spawn, so might swap out. Gonna be difficult to find a way to kill, but it seems like they're just Ubering straight through. They thought this was much bigger than it actually was, and in fact, it wasn't really even at all. So one soldier left to dry, it is Paul Dog, but a lot of chaos coming in with the red team. The blue team is not able to really kill anything with their better Ubers. Actually, their own soldiers that are dying in turn. So many weak players for the side of the red team. 4 players that are red HP, but it is going to be everyone, spare Ray and Shining dying at the very end of that Uber. Ray and Shining will eventually fall, I can only imagine, though. Shining getting very weak, last person left surviving inside lobby, trying to fight Hayes. Hayes will collect that kill, though. I am extremely unsure how red team takes an Uber exchange to start off that bad, and then they collect 2 soldier kills. But hey, it is what it is. 40% add, 2 kills collected, very late deaths that begin to poke around in lobby, and potentially maybe even go into last if it looks good enough, but I think they kind of see the blue team as well and set up now, so gonna cut their losses, be happy that the fact that that went as well as it did, and just take the Uber ad and make sure that they're able to get this Uber and push through the door of their choice to try to break into last the good old-fashioned way.
Yep, I mean, I want to see them push shortly here. Looks like they're taking a little bit longer here. It looks like they're finally getting ready. They're gonna go Shutter here. Gonna get stuffed initially by KTB. The gun is just now, now it's down.
Oh, that's a long gun
Yeah,
kill.
it took way too long, and Phantom's actually gonna pay the rest. But Time's 4 on the point. Almost gonna get it, but Yum Yum, the saving grace on Pudis, gonna find a massive 3K, gunning him down. And Mustard just beefed on the gun. He missed like 2 easy pipes that shouldn't have been missed.
I think he was trying to pipe the NG and being like really greedy or something, but it just didn't work out. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I mean, either way, it took forever and the gun like didn't die until the Uber was almost over. So not gonna really work out well for the red team. As Cat Posse's in the driver's seat on their own too. Full Uber looks like big door is going to be their door of choice. It is spotted a little bit, so they do know it's coming. Uber immediately coming out, trying to bomb their dome man in, trying to get the hell out of dodge if they can. Mustard and Hayes have to be careful though. Getting juggled a little bit, a lot of damage, and Hayes will take the fall, so his dome man will live. So going to be a bit, Phantom has an Uber of his own, and with the blue team captain, they do have a player ad to work with, but seeing Toss immediately get up on the light makes me think they are not interested in using this one player advantage at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like this positioning from Toss. There's a very key hold here from Cat Posse. As you
Bulldog's
see,
hiding, by the way.
where's the Doge?
He's closer than you think. He
Oh.
is closer than you think.
How did he end up over here?
He was there the whole time. He never showed himself.
Oh, here
Now
he
he's
goes.
flanking with their team going in all the time. He's a little bit off. They're able to collect the demo, which is nice, as well as they were trying to follow KTB through the air, and it just told them where Toss was. Phantom able to surf that live at 9 HP. So at the end of the day, all projectile classes for Cat Posse are falling from the red team's Uber. They do have an Uber of their own, but it's going to be difficult to actually do anything. It's probably going to be a given up second as they work their way back to last and get their players to begin to push out once they have their field of 6. The Jug Dealers setting up on 2 after this cap, getting ready to, anticipate the blue team's push, and it seems like upper is immediately the path that they are going. Scout's a little bit alone. Toss is going to follow suit and make sure he's there for the Uber if it is needed. Bomb coming from Paul Dog. Able to click Shining Stars, and yeah, nice trade. Zam is trying to work his way behind at least a little bit.
Oh, that's another good trade.
Yeah, not able to get too much, but is able to trade at the end of the day. So for now, the war of attrition is working in the favor of the red team, and Toss is not able to escape his
the force.
Yeah, the force coming out from Hayes, as well as collecting that frag at the end there is not going to bode well for the blue team. Have to work their way back to last after a multitude of trades, get the NG set up, and Phantom has his Uber ready to go. Zam has spawned. They're working their way into lobby. All they got to do is pick a door and try to bust down and collect another round on the board.
I want to watch Mustard here. I want to see what his decision making is. So, again, they're going to get the medic right away. Gun's going to go down right away. Mustard needs to keep this heavy at bay here, which is exactly now he needs to hit the point. Going to find that scout kill dice. Surely they get Shining Star here any second now. They're going to find Kura here, though, surely. I mean, I don't really know how they're not killing any of these people here. Zam needs to get healed or something. Their med's dead. They're all so weak. Zam, I mean, that's just the most unfortunate. I mean, Mustard missed a lot of crucial shots there. I mean,
they had a heal advantage right off the bat from collecting that medic, but did not play at a pace at which they could use it. They didn't make sure that after they took damage, they got healed from their own medic and just basically threw their advantage a little bit in the garbage can, so that is not going to be a successful push coming from the red team. Posse now out on their own too, recapping this, have a little bit of an ad to work with. It's a bit small, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see another big door push coming eventually, but with 2 dead, before that would even happen, it's going to be a bit of a dry as they try to work their way off the fact that there are only 4 red players at mid. Toss, creating space for his team, allows them to get through. Bomb coming in for the red team, or for the blue team rather, able to collect the scout kill. So once again, more and more kills on the board for them to work to continue to drive through these doors before they even have their Uber. Gonna lose Shining, which is a bit of a bane for them, as now they are down to their combo scout when they have full ad, although they do have the point cap. So Yum taking the beam and getting ready to rush Paul Dog, trying to collect this kill, is able to without even popping the Uber, so slowing down just a little bit to make sure they can get through. Gonna be able to get Hayes, but gonna lose Toss in return. Now you're running into a different situation where you want to continue to go, but yeah, Gungan getting the force. Now it's difficult. You want to leave in cap, but you want to go and chase them, and now they're kind of stuck. What do you decide? And they didn't pretty much decide to do neither. Just sit in lobby, not able to collect more than that, although it is not too bad. But you have to be careful though. Red Uber immediately coming out, trying to chase down these players. One scout is going to separate a little bit. Kura's getting juggled up in the choke side. Yum is going to fall, but Kura is going to be able to escape off the fact that it is just a demo v demo right there. So a little bit of a back and forth, but it seems like things are going to slow down at least a little bit, as a scout pick is a bit too hard to seriously push off of. I would be kind of surprised if we saw the Jug Dealers actually try to dry off this, and I think we're right. We're seeing there. Go ahead and back it up and get ready for the disad situation that they are now in.
I mean, here comes Cat Posse, KTB. I like what he's doing, not taking damage a whole bunch, just kind of like, okay, well, that was just greedy. He kind of just stood there. He could have just counter jumped away, but he kind of just chose to get blown up. I mean, they're going to trade him out, which at the end of the day is fine, but KTB had no right to either. He should have just jumped away. But anyway, here, Cat Posse going to walk it in through River. Hayes is still dead. I hope they should sack a player as fast as possible here. Toss already coming in. Great jump there from Toss. Not able to find anything. Great attempt though. Phantom was pretty much at the spawn door hiding, but that was a great jump. I like what he did there.
Yep.
Hey.
Not able to find anything though. It seems like they're trying to do some sort of counter-attack. Shining Star is just in lobby, as well as Yum. Their scouts are completely separated from the convo, so now there's only 3 players left alive on the side of the blue team.
Oh,
it's a bit difficult there,
Bubbles!
but Kura is going to die as well, so disaster striking for their hold as they're just beginning to crumble, as all have died except Ray. Toss is a respawner coming and collecting Polog at the end of the day. So bit of a, I'm not really sure what they were going for actually. They had half their team in lobby, half their team not, and it just ended up losing 2 off of it, and maybe even mid, depending on how this goes. Toss is trying to stuff Big Door, but he's going to jump in the enemy team. Mustard collecting that kill. Uber change coming off, and they drop Yum in, so it's going to be 2 down right off the bat. Going to be missing players for this Posse who are trying to get the hell out of Dodge, out of the choke, back to their own 2, and it seems like Red Team have taken this mid for themselves, and you know, Yum and Toss are going to spawn. They're able to get their forwards in time, I can only imagine, despite the ×9. So, going to be a little bit of a slower paced game now, I can only imagine, just because I don't see a dry push happening, especially with Yum on Sniper in the forward. It's going to be a little bit difficult to work your players through big doors. So, slowing down once again to see how this kind of works. Hay is actually going in for a sack, and I've cast a curse to this. They're immediately sacking off the fact that I guess it's expected. No Uber in play right now or anything like that to force, so definitely would have to secure the kill right off the bat. With the soldier down, now there's definitely a reason to try to go for something. Yum peeking, getting a little bit weak, has to surface way backwards. KTV committing, trying to get damage on the Paul Dog, barely able to get it. Almost thought the barrel was going to save him, but at the end of the day, he is able to collect that kill. So a lot more action that I was initially expecting. The Sniper is going to go down. Gungan probably giving up his life for it. No, barely saved, able to pistol down Toss, and it seems like all this chaos is actually working out in the Jug Dealer's favor. Kind of eating my words and expecting it to kind of go bad, you know, like doing things off Uber, but we see a little bit of 3v3 happening right now on 2. The reinforcements are in favor of the blue team as they are closer to their own point. Uber change finally coming out.
Though.
Yep, trying to take some high ground. Polog getting a little bit weak, has the pack and choke to be able to heal him up when it spawns, so gonna be a-okay in that regard. Post Uber coming
why
out.
are they staying in?
Yeah,
Mustard.
high ground for blue team.
Yeah, Mustard, I mean, the Jug Dealers are down 2 players that entire time, and they just chose to stay in. I mean, they're going to lose 3-4. That was just a poor call from the main caller on the Jug Dealers.
Oh, hey, salvage though? No, not quite.
Close. I mean, I don't know. That was I mean, Uber exchanging there's fine. I mean, even then, like, Cat Posse popped first, but
post-fight in enemy territory.
Post-fight, closer to the, you know, Cat Posse spawn. And on top of that, you have 2 people down. You can't stay in there. That is just grounds for losing that fight. But 10 minutes left in the clock.
Yep, not tons of time, but enough where something could happen if, you know, the game picks up its pace, which it very well can, but we're seeing a whole lot of back and forth here. A lot of going in between seconds and lasts, and right now, Phantom and friends are sitting in a spot where they definitely do not want to be in. They want to be in the driver's seat. They want to be trying to break last stalemates to try to make sure they can collect another round on the board before the timer drops too low. Yum trying to work his way behind is not going to be successful. Going to eat a Mustard Overlord trap. So their sack attempt is going to be all for naught. Counter sack coming in from Paul Dog, trying to get some good damage on the other team, getting a lot of players into red health, but not quite what you exactly want. Collecting a kill or collecting a force, neither will happen. So at the end of the day, unsuccessful. Yum up on Sniper. They're a-okay playing this a little bit slower pace. They are in the lead when it comes to the point. So if they want to eat, you know, 5 minutes off the clock trying to go for sniper plays, hey, that's fine in their book. Trying to take an angle at the choke, at least for now, but seeing as his entire team is working their way towards Big Door, I can only imagine it's only a matter of time before he begins to peak that. Zamp hiding in a corner in Big Door, definitely playing high risk, high reward, will get very much punished for the overextension there. Soldier going in, Toss trying to work his way on the Phantom, will get cleaned up, and Kura is gonna die as well from a flank coming in from Hayes through Big Door, as well as Mustard Sticky. So down 3, and one of the players left alive is a Sniper. Does not bode well. Nice headshot is gonna ring out, but it is not enough for them to actually hold on to the mid. Gonna exit their way out to 2, and like I said, a lot of back and forth. Ubers were not even exchanged there, but it makes sense because of all the players that were dropped. So Phantom and friends have retaken mid and going to try to work their way into the enemy team's 2 to continue to pressure and try to put another round on the board to keep themselves alive in this match. Immediately going through the choke, trying to go for an Uber changer off the bat, definitely trying to play this fast pace because they know they cannot have the timer play in the enemy team's favor. A lot of damage on the scout. Poldo going behind to create some space for his team to go through. No demo stuffing the choke quite yet is going to allow the red team to begin to flood their way through. Although the high ground is in favor though of the blue team, immediately taking damage direct from the spam coming from the red team is going to prove fruitful for them. It is just Toss and Ray left alive, and Toss will die trying to meet his medic. So with one medic working her way back to last, the red team has barreled their way through main trying to catch her, but not going to be successful in that regard. Although the point, YumYum is going to fall, and they have so much cap time that Gungan will collect that frag for their team. And like I said before, you know, it's not tons of time to work with, but it's definitely enough if the match picks up its pace, and that definitely happens. So only one round difference between the teams right now. Going to be interesting to see if things tie up in the next 6 minutes, or if Cap Posse will be able to take the match. Gonna see another mid to see what happens when it comes to the pace of this round.
Yeah, Mustard kind of played insane the last little bit of that round. But anyway, big bomb here from Doge. Gonna land around to YumYum. Gonna trade a lot of damage out. Hayes is gonna find the medic right away. This should be a death ball right here. Kill toss, potentially. Oh, well, Mustard getting caught is not what you want to see. They need to just hold their ground here. They have Gungan still. They need to hold on top of the point here. They can't get pinched from both sides here. They need to pressure Kura. This is great. They need to just make sure he's at bay. YumYum can have lobby right now. This is perfectly fine. Let him be behind.
Oh, Kura.
That's unacceptable for getting caught by that spam there. That's actually going to be very detrimental. That is a free mid. You have to walk through sticky bombs now. And YumYum is behind. It just matters. Mustard here, going to be fighting him on last year. Big pipe from Mustard. He is going to fall, though, which is not good. That pretty much kind of salvages, you know, Kura's misplay there from getting killed by that spam. But it shouldn't matter all too much, though, because Kura still doesn't have anything set up here. Big bomb coming up from Toss, though. Is going to choose to jump away, though. Actually, no, he's going to stand and choke and try to get an arrow, but that's going to result in Hayes and Poldoge absolutely nuking the choke. I thought Toss was going to get out for free, but he stood in choke and just blew up.
Very greedy.
I mean, that's unlucky. I mean, this could turn around real quickly here, Jarrett.
Yep. You know, not too much time left. 5 minutes left, even Ubers, but it is a position that the Jug Dealers definitely do want to be in on the opposing team's last, trying to break it. And last time we saw them take a random Uber exchange, it kind of worked just to make things, you know, play really fast. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something similar later on in this match. Immediately trying to go for a 2-man right off the bat is going to be the play for now. Don't have to play too hasty. Now they're in a good spot. Definitely don't want to do anything crazy to immediately lose it. So go ahead and, you know, trying some cookie cutter stuff makes sense. Got a lot of their team stacked in upper. He's not exactly watching low though. Toss bombing in. Nicer from Phantom, but is afraid of not only the fall damage, but the air shot. Did not have a player spotting any of the shutters whatsoever. So Toss finding success there for his team to salvage and make sure they're have an opportunity to work their way out of last, and he's just gone. He is on the other teams too. He is out of there. So despite being a roamer down, if they pushed out right now, they do have full Uber as an opportunity to go through, but Polldog in water. He sneaked his way through river into water, and YumYum's paranoid. YumYum's paranoid, but YumYum is not in a good position. YumYum has the wrong type of paranoia.
No!
YumYum's paranoid about Baby Door, but not water. They just didn't check water or didn't check it properly enough. He was on the pill bottle, just hiding behind the pillar in there, and either they didn't go down there and see it, or they just didn't go down there at all. So now we are in a tied game, 3.5 minutes left in. It could be a pretty fast match. You could see a winner, or it could be overtime. It all depends on how this mid goes.
I mean, right now, I got my eyes on Kura. I want to see what his plan here this mid is. He is going to get balled pretty much instantly, though, but Poldo's B-bomb going to ignore the demo and land right on Hayes. He's going to follow up. But again, frags are going to come in favor of both teams here. It is a 3v2 here. It just matters if Toss can sync up with his scout fast enough. That might happen. Gungan is going to find the kill onto Toss here, but they're just going to retreat here. Gungan has to just make sure he doesn't get two-shot here by the terror that is YumYum, but the chaos is over. 3-3, full Uber ad from the Jug Dealers. What was looking like a pretty convincing game coming from the Cat Posse, the advanced superstar mega champions, is now turning into a crumble from a 3-1 lead coming into the second half here, Jarrett.
Yeah, it seems like they played them well enough to get their number and get these mids working in their favor, able to get the aggression needed to be able to collect these early picks and damage to have things ultimately end up the way they want it to. Toss is right above them though, trying to sink their way onto Mustard, able to collect that frag, but it does not Phantom. So despite being a demo down, they still have this Uber to work with. Kura's gonna det, so no stickies on the board, but Hayes is gonna get bombed by KTV, gonna be able to trade out soldiers, but this is a lot of chaos for the blue team to work with to allow them to get their last bit of the Uber. If they so desire, Ray desperately trying to collect it, but the Uber is gonna come out collect 2, and that is definitely not a bad Uber. Not able to collect Ray, but 2 kills. 2 kills is not bad. Yeah, they're definitely playing this very, very safe. I guess if they're stacking, they're more thinking that they're gonna screw up holding last than anything else. I guess that's their plan, but immediately trying to bomb in. Paul Dog is not able to find anything. Only a little bit damage on the Ray, and I don't even think it was from Paul Dog, so at the end of the day, they're not going to find a whole lot of success there. Zam finding his way into Secret, not able to find anything either, so with 2 minutes left on the clock, it's going to be curious to see if Cat Posse thinks it's actually worthwhile at a certain point to continue to push, or if they just make sure they hold on to their Uber. It's a lot of things that teams struggle with, and Kura peeking Shutter is gonna die. That is definitely a bane for the blue team. Got a lot of damage on the Mustard, but Hayes on last, bringing a lot of people back, and that's gonna make sure that Ray and her scout are completely alone despite having Uber. So they are Ubering, but it's just gonna be a solo. They're able to get Mustard, but that is about it. Phantom is gonna pop, chasing down the blue team. They are able to collapse a little bit, but it seems like it's not gonna be a collapse, but rather a chase in the last. It's not gonna be too successful. Able to go Ray, but it's only 2 players left alive for the side of the red team. Seems like they're a little bit, a little bit of misconstrued idea of what the plan was gonna be. Half their team was not ready for that post fight coming in from Phantom and the combo. So at the end of the day, despite collecting that medic frag, they are all the way back on mid. 50 seconds left in, and whatever happens definitely has to happen fast if we are going to see a round. Interesting to see if the teams are going to just, actually, we are going to play it safe. Cat Posse is just cutting their losses, just going to hold on last. They can have their resup cabinet, have their stickies all over the point, and just have it all happen right here. I don't even think we're going to see an Uber come into play, to be honest. I mean, maybe. I guess Phantom has, 30 ad he could try to use, but it's definitely going to be cutting it a little bit close with, 15 seconds left on the clock before they actually pop in. So it's really going down to the wire for the Jug Dealers, Sandblast.
Here we go, the Jug Dealers. All their eggs in a basket. 10 seconds on the clock here. Yum Yum gonna fall here.
He fell.
Have a pick advantage. Mustard has to get stickies on the point right now. Shining Star's gonna fall.
5 seconds.
Going in favor for 3 seconds. They're gonna get it. The Jug Dealers, baby. They're gonna come back on top. They're gonna win with 2 seconds on the clock. What was looking like an absolute disaster with that Uber from Phantom. They already committed to dropping Mustard, and all they had to do was run away. But they chose to drop Mustard, then pop Uber, and then wipe. It's shocking that with 40 seconds left on the clock, they were able to bring that back. That is insane how that game ends. That's actually insane how that ends.
No, a little bit of a lack of cohesion definitely showed at the end there with trying to get yourselves together with a new team. Things like that happen. Even though Phantom popped at the end there, and they could have had a sick post Uber in lobby and players weren't ready, definitely shows that the experience of these players on this roster were able to pick and choose the little thing about the match that was going wrong over time to take a 1-3 and immediately swap around to collect 3 rounds in a row to be able to collect this match. Looking at the logs we have on the screen now, last time we saw Shining Star and Yum Yum were kind of the dominant scout pair, but kind of look at it this time and we see a new person that is topping the scoreboard in terms of the kills, and that is going to be Zam, kind of flipping things around and making up for his previous performance in the other half.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my opinion, still a quiet game from Gungong. There's a lot of hype around Gungong as the next up, but a pretty quiet performance from Zam, kind of kicking into overdrive, coming up big for his team there. Had a lot of clutch kills. I mean, unfortunately, Kura wasn't able to keep up. I mean, he convincingly got out demoed that half. He was looking very good the last half, but ending going 5-15 in that second half with barely doing above 200 DPM. Toss didn't really have as much impact as he did in the last half. He had a couple good med forces, couple good picks, good flank plays, but it came all the way down to 2 seconds left, and that is just 2 seconds on the clock that matters. That could have been and if you're on the Cat Posse coming in your debut match, I mean, that's a tough loss to take, man. I mean, that's just somewhere in the match, in that 30 minutes in the second half, that's just a rough one, man. that you had to be 2 seconds more efficient any
Yep.
time in that match, and unfortunately it came down to every second. But Mustard kind of doing really good. Let's take a look at the combined stats. We do have them up shortly here, and again, the scouts do, Yum Yum, for his first ever invite match, showing some good life. Had a couple really good sniper plays, had some really good heavy plays holding last. Kind of did really good on scout. I mean, pretty reliable, playing flank. Never really got super caught out. Did his job pretty well. But I mean, at the end of the day, Mustard, in my opinion, was the biggest difference maker overall. Completely out demoing Kura pretty convincingly. 29-19 scoreline to Kura's 14-23. I mean,
it's a pretty big difference.
That's a pretty big difference. I mean, Mustard did good in the first half, but Mustard and Zam kind of went crazy. Hayes played very well too. Paul Dog, I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, the Jug Dealers just figured it out.
All the little adjustments just added up to allow each individual player to, kind of surpass what they were previously doing, to be able to come together and collect enough rounds to continue their strive to prove that they deserve to be, a name, a team name that should be said when you're talking about playoff bubble teams. Well, Cat Posse, advanced winners of previous season that still have a little bit of their work cut out for them. Long road ahead, though. It is only week 1, so going to be interesting to see what happens rematch later down the line. Although we are going to be transitioning a little bit, I can only imagine, into kind of an interview state. We do have Mustard here, who was on the Jug Dealers, coming off of your victory of your first match of the season. Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. It was kind of a little too close for comfort, but made it work in the end.
Yeah, go ahead and talk a little bit about the adjusting. First half, it's kind of something left to be desired, but then you definitely turned it up when it came to the going into the halftime. Was there anything in particular about the halftime that you think you guys talked about, or was it just the longer you played, the more you guys slowly figured things out?
I think we're a team that are like giant tilt babies, including myself, and like in the first half we were kind of a little split up. We were letting them get some free picks on our flank. We weren't like playing together, and it was kind of frustrating us. And we're a team that when we have a second to reset, we felt as if once we just started like not giving away free kills, that like we could just eventually outmuscle them and just play together, and it eventually worked. And our soldiers just decided that Karama wasn't allowed to play the game anymore, so that helped too. And then it got close near the end. It was how those situations are, adrenaline pumping with 5 seconds left, and
Cap put 2 seconds on the board. It was wild.
Yeah, it was interesting to see. There was a fatal error with Phantom popping with about 1.5 minutes left. Dropped you and then chose to pop Uber with full HP instead of just running away. I thought that was the nail in the coffin.
It all worked out in the end.
But yeah, you guys made every second count. And that's all that matters. My question is the first half of that game, your scouts were completely offline. They had no impact for the most part. They were getting shut down. What changed in the second half, where Zam and Gungon were both pretty much just getting out-scouted, the impact just wasn't there, and all of a sudden Zam's just dropping a 30 bomb in the second half?
Well, Gungon's in here now, so I'm gonna let him try to answer that question.
Yeah, what'd you do differently? You guys were getting absolutely tossed, and then now all of a sudden you guys turned up.
I honestly feel the way I was playing was not like... I was playing in a very bitch scout. Like I was just running Phantom out the entire time, and I think it wasn't working at first because we were playing to live on their Uber zone, but we would like lose 2 people or something. So I would basically be putting out no pressure for pretty much nothing. So because we would just lose people anyways. So I don't know. I don't think I changed the way I played a little. I think I played a little more soldier shooty in the second half, but I think just overall as a team we played better, and it just our soldiers really enabled us to win that game, I think.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think like they like to like take their heels over to the flank and like rush Zam and Hayes, and it was like working in the first half, so Zam was dead, so he couldn't do much, and then Gungan couldn't do much because we were already down players. But then we talked about it at halftime, everyone just started beasting, and we were the ones catching them off guard instead. So
yeah, I mean my whole thing is, you and Hayes kind of popped off in the second half. He did good overall, but played really well. You and you complete. I thought it was gonna be like in a vacuum. I mean, I would say like on paper, like your team has like more invite experienced players individually, but at the end of the day, I mean, the number one advanced team played an entire season with each other, brought the
Yeah.
same roster invite, and kept it close. But I guess at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you figured it out.
Yeah, don't sleep on those guys. I feel like right now in Invite, there's sort of like the top. There's Froyo, and then there's sort of like your team and the Catface team and the Ash team, and I think right behind that are us and the Karama team, and then maybe the Animate, the Yambo team. And I think they're in that like 5th through 7th range right now. I mean, inshallah, we're trying to get into playoffs and like improve. But even if we don't, I think that little area is like very competitive. I think it's pretty even in mid-Invite.
Yeah, usually there's a pretty big, like first seed, second seed's usually pretty close. Not as of late, and usually it's like 3rd through 5th, somewhat pretty competitive. But this season I do agree there's a stigma that like usually like the top 4 teams are already pretty like predetermined. But I want to see a change to that, whether it be my team losing or GCI losing, which would be interesting turn of events. But definitely possible. You guys played very good. Both teams played really well. It showed that you guys are able to adapt and to invite. It just kind of depends on how you guys do it against the higher level teams, like if against Froyo or Witness Gaming, 4 Gaming, and GCI, the I guess projected top 4 finalists. But in recent time, I mean, should be good matches upcoming. I want to see how like your team and this team do specifically against some of the better teams.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, not to give too much away, but I think the reason the Karama team picked this map is that they tied Ash's team on it in a scrim. So like, and I'm not saying that means they're anywhere close to like as good as Ash's team, but I'm like, other than maybe like
gives you confidence.
Yeah, other than maybe Froyo, I think like every team is at least beatable on the right day. So like, even if like some teams look like favorites, I think it's gonna be fun this season.
Yeah, should be close. Should be I want to see contest that playoff bubble. But other than that, I mean, not really much left. I mean, my last question is Gun. You have a lot of hype around your name going on in the upper levels of invite. Got a lot of people got your eyes on you this season. Gonna see how you perform. Pretty quiet this game. What are you gonna? So coming up on the next upcoming matches, what's your plan?
I just need to practice a little more. I've been just playing a little too much Fallout 2, I think. Not enough DF2.
Respect.
Also, shout out to Zam. He changed his sense in second half, so.
Beast. That's what we love to see. Well, other than that, that's pretty much all I got. You got any questions, Jarrett?
No, I think we're good here. Time to kind of move on to shoutouts. Gunn, do you have any more shoutouts as well as Mustard before we go ahead and sign off for the night?
Shout out Post. That's about it.
Free Palestine.
True.
Anything from you, Sandblast?
Yeah. Shout out to the teams. Shout out to Dolphin. Shout out to RGL for bringing me on. I don't have a match this week, or because I have a bunch of people missing. Shout out to Seeds. We love Seeds. But that's pretty much it.
Yep, definitely got to give a shout out to the viewers for sticking around and watching the interview after the matches are over. Definitely appreciate it. But that is going to be pretty much it from us. Definitely want to keep your eyes peeled for more matches. I think we have another match they're going to be casting tomorrow, so definitely want to check that out. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm trying to double check which teams they are. It is actually Jug versus Fire once again. Going to be casting you guys.
Oh Lord.
2 days in a row, so should be exciting to see.
Oh.
Yeah, I gotta go do the map bans with them. Actually, I was kind of making them wait. I feel bad, but yeah, gotta make that happen.
But that's gonna be pretty much it from us. Interview time is past, and it's time to let you guys go. So thank you everyone for watching and coming out. I've been Jarrett with Sandblast as my co-caster and Dolphin on production. Good night.